Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my a little bit late review for a couples retreat, season 1, episode 2. Okay, let's get started. First things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to do what? Subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Okay, do not forget to also like this video. Okay, like this video. It helps YouTube share it amongst the people in the world. Okay, the world, Craig, and whatnot. Okay. Also, you can comment in the comment section. You can also share it on your social media by hitting the share button. Yeah. Do not forget to also to relax. Okay, to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you. Okay, do not forget to also inhale and exhale because it helps you to stay calm in times of crisis and stuff. Okay, also follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner on IG and on Twitter. Because again, that's where I say stuff at. If you don't know, is she gonna be on this thing? She gonna be on that? What's going on? I don't know. I usually post it where? On my social media. And I'm here, okay? Hair wash and all that stuff. Now, let's get into the couples of the retreat of the couples of the people, okay? We have all 5 couples. I didn't feel like putting one and one because they were just chitting, chatting all day or whatever. So we do see the episode starts off where the last one left off with Ray J being childish, okay? Being childish. He's walking away. He doesn't want to talk about anything. I don't get why come on a reality show about couples at a retreat, you and your wife are going through hardship. Why would you think that's not going to be addressed? I just don't understand. What do you think y'all will come here and do? Sit around, do nothing like I used to do? Ray J and Prince is usually on Love and Hip Hop will sit around and do nothing. I am happy they are not allowing it to happen anymore because I'm tired of seeing their faces if they are not going to do something with their faces and their bodies and their storylines. Give me something, Ray J. Give me something, Princess, or get the out of my face with the BS of it all and whatnot. Okay, so Ray J walking away as Princess is crying, and she's talking to AJ saying, I'm really only with him because of the kids. Like I haven't really fully left him because like we have children together. I'm like that. Look, when someone say I'm here for the children will not grow up in a better space if mom and daddy beefing all day. The children will grow up to hate one of the other parents, one or the other parent, or they will grow up thinking about this false sense of love in marriage to where mama's here, daddy's here, but we don't see any love being exchanged between them. So now they fucked up in their heads or whatever, and they then get married and have fucked up marriages. So it's like, don't do that to children. Do not do that to your children. Divorce or be better. Anyway, so but she's like, I'm only there for the kids or whatever. I don't really care about the relationship with him anymore. It's just the kids and whatnot. You can co-parent separately. You really, really can, okay, and move on with it all. But I told y'all, Ray J wants a cookie cutter family life for the business of it all because it's Ray J Electronics. What is it, Ray J Electronics? Is it Raycon? I think maybe called Raycon. Whatever his brand in tech is, he wants to have this family feel of wife, kids, husband. That ain't who he is. And anyone who knows him should know that's not who Ray J is, but I'm stop going on that. Ray J walks away because he doesn't want to talk about what he wants from the marriage because he doesn't want the marriage. And how can you properly say, I don't want this marriage? I need it to make myself look good at business meetings. I can then say I gotta leave to go pick up my wife to get our kids to take her to daycare. Anyway, so he does talk with Michael and with Raymond, boom pow pow or whatever. Princess is not being real. This ain't the real story. You know what I'm saying? She out here put me on blast. I'm like, y'all stuff is all in the news. Both of y'all put each other on blast. She trying to ruin my name. Okay, this is some fun. I'm looking like she talking about I-5 for the voice first. That's not true. I'm like, but who cares? Who cares if he doesn't come back to the group that night? But I'm like, girl, I don't really care. It's bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Now back at the group, we see, who was it? Yandy and Mendici, Yandy and Mendici's, well, these three up here, and then Rada. And Mendici's asked Rada, I don't know anybody who has threesomes. So, like, what's the rules? How does it work? I'm like, you will never know. Because Yandy ain't going to be about the life. But she said the rule for her is that you cannot have sex with the same side chick again or multiple times. Because at that point, it's a relationship. The fact that there's rules to this threesome, orgy, some all sex, some that they have going on, to me doesn't make any sense because the rules y'all have only. It's like you have these rules thinking it'll stop him from doing it eventually. I don't see him stopping. I think he's going to consistently always want to bang multiple women. And I'm like, I guess women want to bang him. I don't know. I could not find a man attractive who doesn't want some kind of commitment at that age. I mean, he's an older man. I'm assuming he's older than me because I'm 39. But again, that's not really. But this is my thing too. If he wants that, that's fine. That's his choice. He's being upfront and honest. But I'm like, well, you can't have sex with the same side chick more than once. Because girl, doesn't matter. He fucking different side chicks, okay? Whether you fuck 15,000 side chicks or one side chick 50,000 times, you still fucking somebody else besides me. I don't do that. Anyway, so they play the next game called Stuck. Now, stuck is like playing red light, green light. So I'll say, I'll say cheating. She said cheating, immaturity, like a romance, mistrust or whatever. So she's saying these things. And if you have experienced that, if that's an issue within your relationship, then you stay stuck in your space. If that is not something that's going on or has went on in your relationship, you can, take one step forward. So green light, red light, go, stop, whatever. So again, she says immaturity. And Rada brings about Michael is immature because he's a comedian, so he's always making jokes. And he does. It's aggravating. Lack of romance. Okay, Delicious brings up how her and Raymond are not as romantic now since they've gotten married. I'm not gonna. That's sometimes it happens. And then she brings up insecurity. Now, Mendices takes a step forward, meaning he don't feel like he has any issues with insecurity. However, Yandy feels as if bullshit. Okay, no, because the whole time he was in prison for 5 whole years, he was always asking me and talking to me about where I'm at, who I'm with, what I'm doing, or how he's seeing me doing this and doing that. Meaning he was insecure about not being able to be there and see what she's doing. You can't fault somebody who's in prison who only has access to the internet to see what you're doing to wonder why you always going out. You live a life, ain't you? Well, yes, because I'm not in prison. Anyway, they get to cheating, okay? And Kirk, cheating, sad baby being born, Kirk took a step, I say forward. Yes, I had to stutter on that word. I'm like, how did he take a step forward? Who does that? How did that happen? Okay. Anyway, he's making it seem as if he is over their cheating situation. Not there. He's over his cheating situation. So he doesn't have an issue with cheating. Okay. I guess that may mean he don't think she gonna cheat, but you damn sure did. Okay. So the next thing, and when he took a step, it was like, did that nigga walk forward? Okay. Anyway, and Rashida's like, well, I guess maybe I'm the only one who still suffers from thinking about the cheating. They then say mistrust. And again, Kirk moves up. Oh. So he don't have trust issues, meaning he know Rashida ain't going nowhere. So he trusts her, girl, boy, Man, sit down. Now, Princess said, I'm here alone, so I'm the only one that is the most stuck. That's true. We're gonna leave it as truth. Okay. Now, we then see two conversations going on. We see Delicious and Yandy talking. We see Raymond and Mendices talking. Now they're basically comparing prison notes of husbands who've been to prison. I think the difference is when Raymond was in prison, he wasn't with Delicious, but when Mendices was in prison, he was for sure with Yandy. So I do think it's a different conversation because certain things Yandy experienced, whereas other things Delicious is having a lingering effect of when he was in prison that she deals with. She brings up how sometimes um no she brought up how she is happy they came here not knowing it would be somebody here coaching them or whatever because they did not have therapy before or after getting married due to COVID. I'm like, Delicious, you could did therapy via Zoom. If you can arrange a wedding in the pandemic, you can arrange a therapy session anyway. But again, so she's happy, that they're able to do this and whatnot. But I still call bullshit. Now she brings up how there are parts of Raymond that are still stuck and suffering from the trauma from his past when he was in prison, and how him being wrongfully accused. We all know that he's a part of the exonerated five. So she like there's still those rendering lingering aspects of what he went through that still radiates with him to this day. To this day, okay. And she brings up how Yin brings up how the same happens when Medici. That sometimes when Medici is asleep, he like flinches or he's jumpy in his sleep. Probably because in prison you can't really sleep like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he did 5 years. He's only been home at this point for a year. So I do feel like he's when this was filmed, he had only been home for a year. A year isn't a long time to reacclimate yourself to being home from prison after being gone for 5 years. They say it takes a while. Not only that, he was home and then still, locked up because of COVID. So for him, nothing had really changed. Just the location of where he couldn't go nowhere from changed. And people who spend long time in prison, they don't see well at first. Because you have to be used to being home, and it's a sleep mechanism. And Delicious brings up how Raymond sometimes just won't be sleep. Like he's up at like 2 and 4 a.m. I don't know if she meant he flinches or wakes up within his sleep at that time, or he just can't sleep at all and be up. But again, because he was in jail for like years. He was in jail longer than Mendices, even though he's been out of jail for a long time. Again, he still had because he was a kid, so we don't even really know what they went through. But I do appreciate them having this conversation. I really would have wished it would have went a little bit more in detail, just as far as how they want to help their husbands. I mean, that be so when Mendices and Raymond is talking. Medici brings up how it's hard for him. It was hard for him when he had to leave his family to go to prison. But getting out of prison was amazing. He was happy to do that. He brings up their daily things that happen that's like new to him that he has to deal with, saying? Because again, being gone 5 years. And remembering, like, I get it, saying? I was gone too. And people don't get that when people get out of prison, we move different. How we react to things are different, how we talk is different, even how we sleep is different. We move different once we're out because we're trying to get ourselves reacclimated to society. He also brings up how it's it's like a characteristic of being institutionalized, that you now have this tick tick boom that you're trying to get rid of, because in prison you had to like protect yourself or just be hardened because it's prison. And so you have to then be slowly chipped away in real life with that armor. And Raymond feels as if, he asked, like, was there any friction between you and Yandy when you were locked up? And Mindy's like, well, it was. I'm saying because I felt like he feel like she did not communicate with him enough, or she didn't communicate with him enough how he wanted her to, and that he got to a point to not ask her anymore to email him. Now, prison has changed a lot over the years. They have the email thing, like the little JPay stuff. It's called JPay here in Michigan. JPay, where you can like email you don't have to really mail letters. It's like an email. You send them an email and they email back and forth. So he felt like I'm watching people because they give them like iPads or like whatever little tablets or whatever, so they have access to email, and I'm seeing people get emails daily, but I'm not from my wife. I'm like, is she your wife? Did y'all ever really get married? Anyway, so he felt like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to keep asking you to at least send me an email every day. And while I feel like people be in prison, they want people to stop their life and to constantly communicate with them, not realizing we got shit going on out here too. At the same time, for your husband or for your wife, I don't see an issue with every day saying, good morning, babe. And that, even if that's all you say that day, I don't see an issue with that because it's just one little thing to do the day. But again, I'm gonna leave that be. But his issue was she did not do enough for what he wanted her to do it in a certain way or whatever. And he also brought up how he was able to see online her out here hanging out in the streets, having good times or whatever, and still living life. And he like, if you have time to go out and do this and do that and be partying enough to be on the blogs, then you can send me a little good morning. I'm like, I agree with that. But at the same time, if she's called you that day, why you need an email too? So it's a double, it's a whole little thing or whatever. So he also admits he grew resentment based on what he wanted that he felt like she did not give. And I love that Raymond, like, I get that. I can completely get that. However, because we get defensive about what someone did not do that we wanted. However, we have to let that go over time. And I'm like, he was gone for 5 years. He's only been home for a year. I think now is the time, but he has to let that shit go. Okay. And Raymond brought up how Delicious has taught him a lot about being married, about how to live in the moment, how to not let his prison experience, control and dictate his life. Because a lot of people will be hardened from prison and then not want to be soft with a woman and make the woman feel as if you have to accept my hardness. I don't. Let me show you the softness that you can be hard where you need to be, but not with me. Don't be hard with me, but sometimes be hard with me. I'm leave that be. Anyway, and Mendy's like, I completely get it. That makes so much sense in saying, because at times I do have to remind myself to allow my wife to teach me to let me let my guard down. So again, I appreciate so much of them showing this conversation between two men who went to prison for different things, for different times, but them still sharing these same issues that we on the outside who have not been to prison may not realize. So I like that. We do see Ray J and AJ have a one-on-one conversation. Ray J is an asshole, but we already knew that. That's not a new thing. He walked away from that last exercise or whatever, and so he said it was too many people around, and what he has to do was shoot it in private. I'm looking like, you on a TV show, ain't shit private. If you want to keep things private, don't come on the TV screens at all. Okay, excuse me, at least not about your life. That's what's dumb. Like for me, I talk about shows. I give y'all a little bit of my life, but some stuff is off limits. Y'all don't even know all that stuff. But y'all would not catch me on a reality show about my life, and I feel as if I don't have to talk about shit. I can't open a door and then feel as if I can hold it closed a little bit. Can't do that. Anyway, in the conversation, I'm saying, AJ asked, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, why would you? I'm here to help you. Let me help you, okay? Ray J said how he was upset because Princess said she filed for divorce. No, that he filed for divorce and did not tell her. And my issue is she filed for divorce and didn't tell me, okay? But she didn't say that. And she like, but it don't matter who filed for divorce yet. Why is that why is that the y'all both filed for divorce and y'all both said the other one did not tell y'all? At this point, it canceled each other out. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. Anyway, Ray J say, well, she's trying to ruin my name. She's trying to ruin me and giving out false information. And she's like, okay, well, if you feel that way, like, why would you be with her? And when AJ asked that question, I felt like that wasn't her telling him don't be with her. That was her way of saying there's a reason you're still with her despite what you're saying out your mouth. Okay. But Ray is a fucking child. And so all right. He got up, trying to walk away. She's like, "Where you like? Where you going? Where you going? Like, sit down. Like, let's talk about this. Like, let's sit down and have a conversation." But no, Ray J is a child, so he's getting up. He's paid. No, we don't need to say nothing more. That's it. You just told me what. And she's like, "That ain't what I know. No, no, no. Let us have a conversation." But childish ass Ray J bopping around, bopping around, and don't want to listen. So, he does sit back down eventually. And then but he's shut down now, okay? And she like, look, I'm trying to talk to you, whatever. I just need you to stop walking away from stuff because when you walk away from situations, that's childish. And it is because you walked away last night. You're trying to walk away now. That's disrespectful to keep walking away. And it's also, it is childish. He then gets pissed. Okay, now he mad. He sit down. He on his phone. She's like, oh, so you gonna also get on the phone and be rude? Because then we're talking and you're not listening to me. He's like, oh, were you talking? Yes, bitch, you talking. Ray J is childish, okay? He then said, you know what? She was like talking to Princess because she called me childish. She's like, well, let me rephrase. Him saying, talking to you is like talking to Princess. And I loved her rebuttal of, is it that you're talking to Princess or is it that you do not like when someone is honest with you? And I'm like, that's what it is. When anyone tells him something he don't like, he feels as if you're belittling me. You're talking down to me, not like, no, you're being childish right now. And had your mama or daddy raised you better, you would know that. But Ray J has been spoiled by Sonya and Big Ray J, okay, Big Raymond or whatever, and he's fucking childish because he don't know how to sit down and have a conversation. Ray J is grown. Okay, he may be brain little brother, but he's legal. He's grown. He should know better. How do you act in meetings for business? Is that what you do? You get up and be pissed? No, you sit down. You figure it out. Do that with your marriage, bruh. It made me mad. At this point in time, he's still being mean, not mean, but he's still being rude and disrespectful. And so he then said, "Can I leave? Can I leave?" She's like, "Sure, go ahead. Keep running away." I'm walking. It's still childish. He's childish. He's a fucking child who needs Jesus. Okay. Now make sure to like the video. I need some water. Like the video. Okay. So we see that Ray J is doing a video diary. He like, how you a life coach, but you not trying to help me? Okay, I wasn't trying to disrespect you, but you can't hurt me and talk down to me like I'm a child. If you're a coach, you're supposed to help me. I'm saying that's why I don't go to therapy because they're always biased. I'm looking like you don't go. They're always biased. You don't go because you don't want anyone telling you full of shit. So it's easier for you to still be full of shit and just find someone who was okay with you being a piece of shit. So at the next event, AJ tells the rest because Ray J did not come to the other exercise either. So she tells the remaining couples and Princess what happened or whatever, how he left, he's upset, and so he would not be here either. Which makes Princess say, I can guess what he did, I can guess what happened without even knowing. She said something truthful that he didn't like. He shut down, got on his phone to act like he wasn't listening. He then walked away and said something proof. And as she's saying this, they're playing the evidence. They're playing exactly and this is exactly what happened. And AJ also said in the scene with AJ, AJ said in the scene with Ray J that she is seeing firsthand what Princess has alleged that he does, and he does it. And I'm like, because he's a fucking child. Anyway, Princess decides to leave this extra. Like, I'm tired of being here doing it alone. If he ain't here, what's the point of me being here too? I kind of agree with this call, but why bring someone on the show who's having real life issues to where they should divorce? Okay, break up. Anyway, AJ has a little fiery pit on the sand of the beach they face each other. So each couple comes up in this little ring of fire, not a ring of fire, but like tiki torches, or whatever. And they sit in the two chairs and they talk to each other. And first up was Kirk and Rashida. And they asked them about spending time together. Whereas he feel like we always like we are like we here right now stuck together. They're like stuck. Are we? Am I stuck? You stuck with me? Is you stuck with me really? And I'm like, that's what he said. Said or whatever. So they move on from that to he said, well, I didn't mean that. I'm like, that's what you said. So they move on from the whole being stuck there to the cheating stuff or whatever, and which happened. So 5 years ago, we know he got the girl pregnant, and got a whole baby. So the fact that Kirk is like, well, no one wants to really talk about what actually happened or whatever. What no one knows is when it happens, me and Rashida was basically on the verge of divorce. We had not had sex in a year. And so our marriage was really, really bad then. The fact that he tries to have an excuse as to why he not only cheated on his wife, you had a baby with the lady. You know what I'm saying? You had a whole baby with someone else. It's bad. So he brings up how we've been together for the first 15 years. We didn't have no issues. Ain't no way Kirk ain't cheating ain't no way. Okay, ain't gonna happen. But he like, I had 15 years and no issues. But I'm basically being crucified for the one time I did fuck up. But it was a hard time for us or whatever. And I would try to have sex with her, and she was like, oh, fine, whatever. Meaning she was so I don't feel like doing it. I didn't want to have sex with her because she wasn't in the mood. And that made me mad. So because she wasn't in the mood, it made me not be in the mood to fuck her. So I went on to fuck somebody else. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Okay, at all. He said, but I felt like something was wrong with her. It wasn't about me, it was about her. But again, we was having a hard time. She said, you know what, I was suffering from postpartum. And I was like, damn. And she brings up how I wasn't myself. I wasn't the wife I should have been. And I don't like that she said that because you can't control postpartum to where, and she also brought up how she had not been through before. So again, it threw her all off. But for her to say she wasn't the wife that she should have been, even if you were not the wife you should have been, he was not the husband he should have been. So I don't want her to blame herself in any way. And I also like that she brought up how like that doesn't excuse what he did, but I was going through something at that point in time, and that's why our marriage got so bad. And I don't know. I hope that isn't bullshit they brought up just to have on this show, because I can't remember if they brought that up on Love and Hip Hop when it all came out. For us, it just felt like y'all was good. He cheated on some bullshit and you was pissed. Not like y'all was in a very, very, very bad place and weren't fucking. And then, I don't know. But again, I'm girl, bye. AJ asked, like, what are y'all plans, like, fix it? Like, where's the starting point to fix shit? And Kirk said, I don't know. I can't plan out the future. And Rashida said, if we can sit down and make a whole business plan for a business, we can damn sure do that for our marriage. Let them know, okay? It can work for the Mirage, okay? And then get to Michael and Rada. I'm gonna wrap this song up. She brought up how when they met, she knew he liked to fuck other people. How at first they were friends like a month or so and did not have sex until like, I'm like, girl, mother ain't shit. He then said, well, no, we fucked the first night. And she said, no, we didn't. With the first night we were together, like hanging out, like not when we first met, but like the first time we were able to be together, hang out, we did have sex and whatever. So I'm like, whatever. Anyway, she brought up how he told me he did not want to be with just one woman. And at first I was okay with that, okay. But she did not realize how much he really bangs other people. Like it's not like a one here, maybe there. It was a consistent all day, every weekend or whatever. It was a consistency of always having more than one lover. And then he like, well, I don't know why she's being mad, because again, she like watching me fuck other people. Like her favorite type of porn is like, watching or whatever. I'm like, see, he played too much. But she brings up how they broke up because she was tired of, after almost 3 years of dating, it being all about sex with him, her, and whoever else. And so she did not want that to happen any longer. But she then went back to him since she wanted to try to give it another shot. I'm like, for what? If you know what you're about, why go back? I don't get it. If what he wants you don't want, why did you go back? Do you want to keep watching the fuck other people? I don't know. She said that she wants more substance and she wants them to tighten up their relationship. I call bullshit because you know what he wants, and the fact that he then said, well, I feel as if she agreed to be with me to lure me in, and now that she's here and in love with me, she wants to go back on our agreement. I agree with him because look, you can, he told you from the beginning what he wanted, how he wanted things. You can't then want him to change how he told you he wanted to be because you don't like it anymore. And it doesn't seem like he wants to change. So I never want to fault anyone who's honest up front. And I like that he then said, you know what I'm saying, if she wants me to stop having sex with other people, I'm gonna then start lying and cheating, and I won't do that. And I feel like what else can she want from him? He's being completely honest. Like, I don't want to fuck this you. And if you don't want that, then she needs to leave him. But you can't try to force him into being monogamous. That's not how that shit works. That's how cheating eventually works. Because he's going to cheat eventually. And then lastly, with Yandy and Mendices, it's the whole thing about how she felt like when he was locked up, she was too. And how he felt as if, well, that ain't true because you were still going out having fun. And you didn't even email me for like 2 or 6 months or whatever. And she said, well, because I talk to you every day for like 3 times a day. When he said you lying because I don't even get that many phone calls a day, I kind of agree with him because I know people in prison and sometimes they don't have access daily to 3 phone calls. Sometimes they are limited to like 1 phone call per day, or maybe 2 phone calls per day. It do depend, but sometimes they don't have that many calls allowed daily. So I'm not sure. Not saying she lying, but I'm saying there's a bit of truth to him saying in some prisons there is a limit to how many phone calls you can have. But her point was, I talk to you every day, 3 times a day. And if I did not talk to you, you got mad. And I felt like, well, if you talk to him every day, 3 times a day, when did he get mad? Because as you said, you kept talking. So which to me meant some days she did go without talking to him, that made him upset. AJ brought up how like y'all both are saying how the other one did not do something that you wanted them to do or the way you wanted to do it. Meaning she wanted him to get here, working, making money, paying bills, being a mom to the kids or whatever. You should respect that I can't always call you and email you in prison, where he felt as if I'm your husband and if you're gonna hold me down, then do that, but if not, then leave. And he said, I told her over time, like, if you don't want to do this, if you do not want to be here, you can leave me and live your life. Like, I don't want to make it seem as if I'm forcing you to rock with me through this prison sentence. And her thing was, I don't want you to ever feel as if you can tell me to like leave you alone or whatever. And I like the way he explained it. Like, I felt like I went away and she put me on the shelf because she didn't have to deal with me. So I went on a little shelf and she would play with me later on once I was free. And I just don't want to be treated differently just because I was in jail. I got what he meant because he also brought up how I knew for a fact if I was home, she would call me constantly and wonder what I'm doing. But because I'm in prison, now you don't feel the need to consistently check in with me because again, I'm away. So you don't have to worry about me. And I didn't like that. So I got both points. She was working, being a mom. So you have to get why she could not do it all. But also he just wanted you to treat him the same way he did when he was free. So it's like they both, you know what I'm saying, it's one thing differently, and that was the issue. So she brings up how I was offended that you would tell me to like leave alone or like tell me I can leave, because what woman wants to, either her man can easily get over her or easily leave her alone. And he then said, if I could deal with and get over my mom leaving me, I can handle losing anyway. I was like, oh shit. Because it's true. However, that's so hurtful to say to your wife. Who the fuck says that? And he said, I just wanted us to be for better or worse. I'm like, but are y'all really married? And, she brought up how I did a good job being there for you. And I feel like if the roles were reversed, would you even hold me down? He said, well, I don't know what I would do. I'm like, oh shit. Now she crying upset because like I told people who asked me, would he do this for you? I told them yes. And to hear him admit that he would not, it breaks my heart. Now he went on IG and clarified that that's not what he said. That's not what he meant. What he meant was no one knows what they can do until they're in that situation. And I'm like, well, you definitely worded that shit wrong on camera. Because what you said was, I can't say I would do that, okay? And I get what he meant, but that ain't what you said. That ain't what you said. And I feel as if, I don't know if Yandy knew that she could do the whole 5 years with him. I know that she wanted to, and that was always her intent. But what if she would have not done the whole 5? Will we upset? No, because he was right in saying no one knows what they will do until they're in that situation. So that part I got. But again, Mendici, sometimes just shut up. Because I was like, if I can give my mama, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. That's why Judy be mad because Mendici say shit like that. But anyway, that was the whole episode. Do not forget to like this video, to comment in the comment section, to subscribe to my channel, to share it on your social media, to follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Tomorrow is the Ladies First podcast, or not podcast. It's gonna be a podcast one day. Okay. But tune into the Ladies First panel tomorrow, Thursday, because I know when I'm putting this up because it's Wednesday 9:30. Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Bonnie Blue's channel, Ladies First panel. We're gonna discuss all kind of things and whatnot and stuff. Anyway, gotta go. Peace. Wait, no, not peace. I gotta find my music first. Found it. Now I gotta go. Peace.